Good morning and welcome to the second day here at Cereals in the Directorate Arena, and David Furber from Claydon has very kindly joined me and brought along their hybrid 6TC drill so we can have a talk about it. So David, perhaps you'd like to just go through a little bit for a start on the background behind the company and how they've evolved into this machine, please.
Okay, Philip. Good morning, and it's great to be here in the direct drilling arena. So from a Claydon perspective, Jeff Claydon formed the company in 1980. Started off with the yielder meter, and Jeff always had a passion to look at farming inputs to understand the results you get from there. And then following on with the development, he was looking at the drilling technology, and in 2002 came with the original V drill, and it was all focused on establishing crops in difficult land, reducing the input cost, and more importantly getting a good yield and improving yields. And so the drill's developed over 22 years of experience to the range we have today, and we've got the trailed hybrid drill, and we also have evolutions. And also on the stand here at Cereals, we've launched our new toolbar and front hopper. So the company's involved over 22 years, a lot of experience with improving tillage, no-till drilling, and improving yields with the direct drill approach.
I think you make the point quite rightly there, David, that yield is really important, isn't it? Because one good crop normally gives you the next one. So if you can keep yields up and root growth up, stabilising, structuring the soil, that's a big part of this, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. It's a big part. If you can get a good crop, improve your soil structure, the biology in the soil, the organic matters, it's all important to the next crop, and also for the water absorption capability. 1% organic matter increase is another 275,000 litres of water holding on a hectare of land. So with this drill, we can achieve that. So it's all a lot of positive news.
Yeah. So if you could just talk us through then, David, the various parts to this, and maybe we'll just have a discussion on each bit, if that's okay.
Yeah. So firstly, if we look into the drilling zones, very popular choice now on the Claydon drills, on the mounted or the trailed, is the front cutting discs. They're just there to cut through a cover crop or trashy conditions, also create a slit in the ground for the leading tine behind to follow.
Are you finding that with the increased interest in cover crops and especially to help let's say over winter into a spring drilling situation, then the disc has become more important for you to have there to help what in effect is a tine drill to cope with those residues?
Yeah, definitely. We found this is a really important option. I would say 95% of our drills go out with the front cutting disc now, and it's important we've all got different views on how to deal with cover crops. We recommend destroying the cover crop and creating a cleaner seed bed to drill into, so you don't have to lay over the cover crop. But equally, the disc just cut through that trash and allow it to flow through the whole drilling system.
Yeah, makes sense. And even as well with having a cutting action in front of a tine, it can help to reduce too much disturbance and bringing clods to the surface, can't it? Because it's allowing a pathway for the soil around a little bit.
Yeah, exactly as you say, Philip. It prevents with that slot. It prevents as much soil boil. Allows a path for the tine behind to do its job basically. So here we have then moving on to the leading tine. It's the heart of the Claydon system. We have the leading tine with the carbide plates on there, but importantly we can adjust the working depth of the leading tine. So we generally, for autumn drilling, we put the leading tine deeper, lifting out any previous compaction, creating the zone in the soil, creating fissures to the side, so that you get a good rooting zone. But all importantly, it's creating a drainage zone as well. So to aid drainage, that you can get the water away and aid the drainage. So generally we recommend in the autumn to set it deeper. In the spring drilling, set it shallower. So you want to conserve moisture usually and more for the following crop. So
Would your farmers get out there and have a look and see what depth they wanted to use it at, have a few digs and have a look and set it accordingly then, or?
Yeah, we'd always recommend that it's good to get on your land, dig a few samples, see what your compaction levels are, see the ideal zone to set the time.
Do you ever get any of them maybe setting these slightly deeper on a turning headland situation if they drill the body of the field first and finish the field off? Do sometimes they drop them a little bit deeper for the headlands perhaps?
Not very often. Generally, when they're into the direct drill with the Claydon system, the ground carrying capacity significantly increased. So generally, it's just the one setting and drill a whole lot. But yeah, you do have that flexibility.
Good.
So the leading tine itself, it can either be, as it is on this machine, it's shear bolt protected, or if you do have stony conditions, then we do have the Stone Pro, so it's auto reset, which can be an option that's fitted to the machines as well.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense, and I see your discs are cushioned anyway from that point of view, from a stone perspective, I suppose. That's going to help there.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the leading tine is alleviated compaction, created virtually a T in the ground, and then the rear following A-share then, which is our common setup. Here we have a 7-inch A-share. This is working in the top zone of the soil for your drilling depth, and actually what we're doing is we're lifting the soil on both sides, and then with a splitter here we're flowing the seed and we're putting it on the shelves either side in a nice friable soil condition. So we're actually putting the seeds on 2 shelves under a nice friable soil for the germination and growth, and then the following zones are actually just covering and levelling out the soil flow behind.
And that would be for most sort of small seed combinables. What if we went beans? Would there be options to have for beans that would allow you to maybe not move as much? Or?
Yeah, exactly. So we do different options for beans. For winter beans, we have a bean shoot kit, a longer shoot, so you can drill 3 to 5 inches of depth. So a narrow zone to put your beans in deeper. And for spring beans, we generally have a 3-inch spoon, so a narrower spoon, and we change the splitter on the back to a chute to put it in the same zone, basically.
Okay, so that really is tuning it to suit the crop.
Yeah,
which is good. Yeah,
tuning it to suit the crop and people's individual requirements. We also do 5-inch A-shares. People that perhaps want a narrower band, not to move as much of that zone. Yeah. So, yeah, very flexible and versatile in that respect. You can really just tune it to suit exactly what you want and how you want to drill your crop. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very flexible. I mean, from a Claydon, from drilling cereals, peas, beans, oilseed rape, a very flexible drill. Plenty of different options.
And see, you've got two pipes down here, so presumably a split hopper and capability to deliver different products.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a split hopper machine. So it's what we normally call a grain and fertilizer, but obviously it allows you to put different crops down as well. This is set up for placing the fertilizer behind the seeding zone, mixing the fertilizer in the top zone and behind the seeding coulter. On all the drills that we offer, we also, on the fertilizer, we offer the opportunity to put fertilizer down the leading tine. So we can put fertilizer down the leading tine. More common in Europe, but in the UK it's more common to have it fertiliser on the rear. We also do offer a split kit, so we can split the fertiliser and put 50-50 front and rear. It's quite a popular option now, it gives people flexibility, and you can either pipe it to one or the other.
So for a machine that's basically a common build, again, you can configure it in whatever mode you want. So I guess we'll come on to the hopper and the metering and that in a moment. Just finish up with the bits at the back then, please, David.
Yeah, so looking at the rear of the drills, again we have different options here for the tools and the tines or the batter boards on the rear of the machine. A very common option is the first row of levelling, have the batter boards here, and it's just a case of setting these to the conditions, the soil conditions. They want to have a nice flow, so they're fairly flat to the ground, so they're not dragging the soil, just moving the soil, and any of the soil that came to the side of the A-share is pulled back into the centre of the drill, covering the seed. And then the rear following harrow, just working over the seeding zone and just doing that final covering. But on the batter board options, depending on your soil types, we also do now a twin tine, vertical sort of leading back tine. That's a very common option that gives that bit of extra tillage on top.
So quite clearly you can use this as a direct drill, but achieve as much or as little soil movement as is necessary, I suppose, for the crop.
Yeah, the drill itself is around a 12-inch spacing, row spacing, with a 6-inch band of seed. So we're actually only moving the soil, gives that benefits to the soil structure, organic matter in the seeding zone. The bands to the side are untouched, so you're retaining the existing rooting structure there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so the fact you're leaving slightly less disturbed zones, I guess, helps to support the equipment over time and helps to avoid as much deeper rutting as you might get if you had to move the soil intensively to a greater depth, would you say?
Yeah, just say it's another good point, Philip, that you bring there. You know, with that existing root structure, say there, the ground carrying capability is far improved, and you can see that with following operations of spraying. You know, you just don't see in this direct drill environment, you don't see the rutting associated with intensive cultivations. You know, it's got much more carrying capability for the following equipment.
That's right, and then you need to do less to repair it, which is it starts to become a virtuous cycle of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, good. So, thank you. Just talk us through the hopper and the control system options you have, then, please.
Yeah. So the hopper itself on the trail drills, we do two different versions of trail drills. This is a T6C with a 3,500 litre hopper, twin hopper with a 60-40 split in the hopper capacity. So you'll see the two metering units and then the rear distribution stacks, one for the seed and one for the fertiliser. Again, tram lining on there, but you can also have seed monitoring. So if you want to monitor seed or fertiliser flow, you can have the seed monitoring option on there.
And is this your actual metering mechanism? Is that a Claydon own mechanism, or is that a more of an industry standard one?
It's more of an industry standard Accord metering system. So it's a very simple and reliable metering system, a very easy calibration procedure. To open the chute on the Venturis at the bottom, collect it into a calibration bag, and basically the control box guides you through the calibration, and the electric motor obviously allows variable seed rate due to speed or GPS or field mapping if you want to, basically on location based.
So you could do that, you could vary seed rates according to where you are in the field and yeah.
Yeah, you can link it to ISOBUS or to a field mapping software and do that as well.
Okay, no, that, and I think you've already mentioned, but just go through the sort of range of widths available, please, in terms of mounted and trailed ones.
Yeah, so just looking at working widths in trailed, we go from 4 metre to 6 metre and 8 metre, of course, or I should say. So this T6 C is 4 metre and 6 metre, and the trail T range goes up to 8 metre in working width. And should also say that if you actually look at the frame on the trail drills, we've got the large wheels which carry the hopper and the weight of the hopper in the field, and the seeding is only carried, it's not supporting the weight of the whole hopper, it's in its own frame. It lowers down within the drill carrying frame and works on the other wheels at the side, so you don't get all that hopper weight onto the seeding zone. Then looking at our mounted drills, we go from 3 metres to 6 metres in mounted drills. We offer 3 and 4 metre and grain and fertiliser multi-hopper machines. They are rigid. So obviously the 4 metre is not such a common option where you've got transport requirements for that. We then offer folding drills for 4.5, 4.8 metres, so we can match the different tramline widths all to the optimum horsepower of tractors, and then 5 and 6 metres. And then as we just launched at Cereals, we've got the new toolbar drills, so you can have the benefit of a front hopper, multiple metering on the front hopper, so you've got multi-tank capability. And again, we offer the toolbars from 3 to 6 metres with all the variations of 4.5, 4.8 and 5 metres.
So that gives you good balance around the tractor in that respect. So yeah, a fairly comprehensive range of options. It's I guess down to the farmer to come and see you and discuss which one suits him best.
Exactly, yeah. Welcome to our stand on the entrance to there. Come and have a discussion with share our knowledge and experience with the Claydon system.
Good. Well, David, many thanks for outlining the bits and pieces on this drill. Very interesting, and I wish you well for the rest of the show.
Thanks, Philip.
Okay, thank you.